Thank you, Father. Hallowed be thy name. Thank you, Father. You're worthy. You're truly worthy. Enter in, Father. Speak through me. Pierce the hearts, the minds, the spirit, Father. Have your way, Jesus. Job 40. I'm coming from the New International Version. Worship you, God. I magnify your name. There's no other greater than him. There's no other like him. Protect, Father. Protect, Father. It says the Lord said to Job, will the one who contend with the Almighty correct him? Let him who accuses God answer him. Then Job answered the Lord, I am unworthy. How can I reply to you? I put my hands over my mouth. I spoke once, but I have no answer. Twice, but I will say no more. Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm. Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Would you discredit my justice? Would you condemn me to justify yourself? Do you have the arms like God's? And can your voice thunder like him? Then adorn yourself with glory and splendor, and clothe yourself with the honor and majesty. Unleash the fury of your wrath. Look at every proud man and bring him low. Look at every proud man and humble him. Crush the wicked where they stand. Bury them all in the dust together. Shroud their faces in the grave. Then I myself will admit to you that your arm, your own right hand can save you. Look at the behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. What strength he has in his loins, what power in the muscles of his belly. His tail sways like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are close knit. His bones are tubes of bronze. His limbs like rods of iron. He ranks first among the works of God. Yet his maker can approach him with his sword. The hills bring him their produce, and all the wild animals play nearby. Under the lotus planet he lies, hidden among the reeds in the marsh. The lotus conceal him in their shadow. The poplars by the stream surrounded him. When the rivers rage, he is not alarmed. He is secure. Though the Jordan should surge against his mouth, can anyone capture him by the eyes or trap him and pierce his nose? Says the Lord. Our topic is, our theme is, does the creation respects the creator? And this part 3. And our topic today is, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You might have to ask yourself the question, who do you think you are? God wants us to understand who he is and who he created us to be. And it's something when he came to Job, he told Job, he said, will the one who contend with the Almighty correct him? This is the hour God want to know, can you correct him? God want to know, the one that accused him, can you answer God? You know how we accuse God? Because we always tell God, well, why this happened? Or if there was a God, and that's why people got to be careful when you're entertaining certain conversations. Because it says, let him who accuses God answer him. And people be saying, well, if this was a God, well, why he allowed this to happen and why he allowed that to happen? We got to be careful when we caught up in those kind of conversations, because when you open up your mouth and you say things like that, you're accusing God of what he has already created to happen. You got to realize that this is the hour that God is telling Job, he said, I need to know who you are. Are you God? You got to realize everything that God made, everything that God created is because he thought about it first. And so if you created something, and if God created something, who are we to come tell God what he did was wrong? And you have to realize that Job was in a place, and how many of us know that when we speak out of anger, we speak out of hurt, we speak out of pain. And that's why God said this is the hour when you hurt, when you're angry, when you're painful. We have to learn how to keep our mouth closed, because when we open up our mouth, we get ourselves in trouble. And so God want to know today, who do you think you are? You got to realize God sees the private you and the public you, and God is asking, who do you think you are? And so as I begin to read the text and go down to the text, Job, God told Job, he said, would you condemn me to justify yourself? Do you not know that we will justify our wrongdoings against somebody else? Well, the only reason why I did this is because of that. That means that you learn that you have to justify yourself to wrongdoings. But how many of us know that when God looked on it, sin is sin, no matter how we try to cup it, no matter how we try to justify it. God look at it, and he look at it as sin being sin. And this is the thing, when he talked about the behemoth, let's get into the topic of the behemoth, because that's very crucial in this right now. You have to realize what God is doing. You have to realize what God has created. And so when we talk about the behemoth, it is a form of a prime evil, is a chaos monster. It was created by God at the beginning of creation. A behemoth is the unconquerable male land monster living in invisible desert east of the Garden of Eden. Legend tells us that he was originally created by God to help stabilize the world, resting it on his back. He floated in the water, surrounded by the cosmic darkness within his chest, is as invisible as the desert called Dundayan. Is Dundayin, Dundayan. He is the only the creator of the behemoth can destroy it. In this case, only Jehovah can destroy it. On the day of judgment, he will be slain, and his body will be provided at the feast for the celebration of the final days, and the Lord will distribute the meat to his followers. You got to understand the behemoth strength and preeminent position means that he is untroubled. That means by the turbulence of water and the confidence in his mind of adversity, this should be like Job. And God was comparing Job to the behemoth. He said, if the behemoth is not worried when chaos comes, when trouble comes, well, why are you? You got to realize that last week that we talked about that God didn't give him no good sense. God didn't give him no knowledge. And so God want to know, where if the behemoth not troubled by the waters, if the behemoth not troubled by what's going on, well, why are you? And so you have to realize, if God said that the behemoth was created at the beginning, and that's something, because it's certain things that God needed to do. And I know y'all don't have this book, but the second Esdras, that's one of the lost books of the Bible. But I'm gonna read this part to you, because it went in. It say, and you gave them a charge to do service to man that was made to be made. That's how it goes. It say, on the fifth day, I need y'all to listen to this. On the fifth day, you say to the seventh part, where the waters were gathered together, that it should bring out living creatures, birds and fishes. And so it came to pass that the mute waters and without life brought out living things, and it was told that the people might therefore praise your wondrous work. Then you preserved two living creatures. The one you called the behemoth, and the other you called the leviathan, and you separated the one from another. For the seventh part, namely where the waters were gathered together, might not hold them both. To the behemoth you gave one part, which was dried up on the third day, and he said should dwell in it, wherein are 1,000 hills. And so I had to read that. Why? Because when you start looking at the text, God let you know that he ranks first among the works of God. That means he was the first that God had created. Isn't that something, that God letting us know how things are being made he said he was the first that ranks among the first that what God has created. You have to realize what the behemoth was created to do was to help control what's going on inside the earth realm, because they say the war of the behemoth caused the other creatures to come to a halt. You got to realize we always call the lion the jungle, the king of the jungle, but what really is the behemoth is the king of the whole desert, because they say when the behemoth opened his mouth, they say around the summer of solstice, that means that when he opened up his mouth, that means every creature that was made to destroy the earth come to a subjection and let you know that guess what, I can't destroy like I want to destroy, and then now I have to be submissive to what I just heard. And so this is the hour that God wants you to know you have to be submissive to when you hear the voice of God, when you hear the things of God. And God wanted Job to know that guess what, I need to know who you are. He said, I want you to know, he said, if your right hand could stretch further than me, then I'm going to give you your credit. I'm going to give you your prop. And so the thing that I loved about Job, that in this text, they say Job covered his mouth because Job got himself in trouble. And I had the game out called Scrabble. We know anything about Scrabble. Scrabble calls you to build words. And this is the hour that God wants you to know that guess what, watch your words. Watch what words are you building, because it can get you in trouble with God. It doesn't matter if you say words and it get you in trouble with man. I'm talking about words that will get you in trouble with God. This is the hour that you got to realize that I got to be careful what I say, because if you know anything about the behemoth is the one that could drink up a whole river. That means he's not worried about nothing. That means he crushes. That means he's the walk forward. When they give the description of it, is between an elephant and a hippopotamus. You got to realize when God is creating something, God don't ask us what we think that it should look like. God create what's in his mind. God create things out of the mind of God. And so you have to realize when God have created your life, when God have did something concerning you, God did it out the creation of his mind. God already knew what you was going to have to go through and how you was going to go through it. And that's why we have to follow the things of God, because this is the hour we want to do what we want to do when we feel like doing it. No, this is the hour we have to do what God oracles say do. And so now this is the hour that Job said, no one, let me keep my mouth closed. Now I'm before the Father. And now I see that God really truly got me, because now he's talking back to me. Can I tell you, that's why Jacob wrestled with the angel. He said, long as I have my hands on God and God have his hands on me, we could wrestle all day long. When was the last time that you got in a wrestle with God? When is the last time you told God, I'm not going to let you go until you're blessed? When was the last time that you got in a confrontation with God that God told you to keep your mouth closed while I talk to you? When was the last time that you tried to tell God why you did such and such, and God don't care why you did it? God said, because I'm trying to elevate you. I'm trying to take you to another level. And every time I try to talk to you, you talk back. You ever try to talk to somebody and they always got some smart to say and they don't want to listen to nothing that God has to tell them? God said, this is the hour I need you to keep your mouth closed and just listen. Tell your neighbor, God needs you to keep your mouth closed and just listen. This is the hour that you don't have time to talk back. This is the hour that every time you talk, you mess up something. You ever told yourself, every time I talk, I find myself in trouble. Every time I talk, I get myself deep in the mess that I'm in. God said, this is the hour to shut your mouth and pay attention. God said, this is the hour that you're not supposed to be distracted. God said, this is the hour he's calling you to the forefront. I don't need nobody on no cell phones right now. I need everybody to be paying attention. This is the hour that you have to open up your ears to the things of God and hear what God is saying. This is the hour, God, that you know he coming and he ain't playing no games. God want to know, who do you think you are? That when you come inside God's presence, you don't even know how to bow down. When you come inside God's presence, all you hear is murmuring and complaining. Every time you come inside God's presence, you always have sidebar conversations. God say this is the hour that he needs you to pay attention and pay attention closely. God say this is the hour that he's raising up the remnant. This is the hour that he's raising up the ones that's about to fight inside the war of Armageddon. You got to realize what God is doing. God is shifting you. God is taking you to another place. Notice every time something important is being said, the alarm go off. That means something is on its way. That means help is on its way. Every time something important go forward, do you not know sirens start? God let you know the trumpets are sounding. And then it's the hour to open up our ears. If you had to ask yourself what trumpet is sounding, do you not know we going on a seventh trumpet? You got to realize that something is coming that was greater than COVID. He said, I'm trying to open up the spirit to my people. He said, I don't want you to get caught slipping. He said, this is the hour what I'm giving to you. He said, I'm imputing inside you because you need to know what's going to happen before it happens. He said, I will not allow nothing to happen inside the earth realm until I give it through the mouth of the prophet. He said, this is the hour I'm calling for order. He said, this is the hour I'm calling for a rising of the people. He said, this is the hour of the exchange. This is the hour the ones that was on the backside of the desert coming to the front. He said, this is the hour I just need you to keep your mouth closed and your ears open. He said, this is the hour I'm calling you full front. He said, you got to realize that when a behemoth comes by the river and the river is raging, he's not caught up about the river raging. He just want to drink. This is the hour that God want to know. You can't caught up if your situation is raging. He just needs you to drink from the well, and the well is him. He's about to give us water that will never run dry. You got to realize what God is saying in this season. God says it's time for you to rise up and act like you have some sense. God said this is the time for you to rise up and do what the Lord say do. He said, I tell you what, if you stronger than me, he said, I'll give you that. He said, if you're wiser than me, I'll give you that too. He said, but if you could go by the behemoth and catch it and pierce his nose, he said, I know you're a bad somebody because I created that man cannot touch it. You got to realize when I created the behemoth, I couldn't create two because of the disaster that caused inside the earth realm. You got to realize what God is saying. It was created as the creature of chaos, because you have to realize anytime chaos is in your life, all you got to do is open up your mouth and cause it to come to subjection of what God is saying. This is the hour if you want to see God move, close your mouth. This is the hour if you want to see doors open, close your mouth. This is the hour if you want to see God move in an unpredictable way, close your mouth. This is the hour if you need God to do something that never been done, you need to close your mouth. He said, this is the hour that I need you to just shut up. Please be quiet. Don't say nothing at all. This is the hour you got to do what God is saying doing. God let Job know, I'm not playing with you no more. And then he tell you, I'm going to speak to you out of a storm. Can I ask somebody who going through a storm right now? That means God is speaking. You need to see what God is saying. What are you hearing when God said? Because right here he said, I spoke to Job out of a storm. God don't speak to you when the sun is shining. God speak to you when a storm comes. Anytime you got a storm in your life, God speaking. Anytime there's a hard on everything, God speaking. God says, so now what did you learn out of the situation? I will allow storm to come so I can speak to you. He said, what you looking for to come in a small, still voice? He said, no, you on a level of maturity. He said, I will speak to you in your storm. He said, I just need you to know, are you listening? Do you hear what the Lord is saying? What you're not going to do next time? What you need to do this time? You need to stay on your face. You need to stop finding excuses where you at. God said, I'm speaking through the storm. Are you listening? God said, I'm speaking through the storm. Are you listening? God said, when I start speaking, storms start coming. He said, when I start speaking, lightning start happening. When I start speaking, thunderings go forward. He said, how you think I'm coming to talk to you? He said, you think I'm coming to sashay you? He said, this is the hour of the horizon. He said, this is the hour of the rising of the soldiers. He said, this is the hour that the storm is brewing. He said, because I'm ready to talk. He said, all hell seems like it's breaking loose. He said, because the storm is here because I'm talking. He said, I tried to tell you before the storm happened. He said, I let the clouds get cloudy. He said, but you knew the storm was coming, but you didn't know how to pray, so it didn't clear up. He said, then all of a sudden, I let the little drops drop, drip, drip, drop. He said, then you still didn't understand. You could have spoke to the drip drop, and the drip drop would have stopped dripping. He said, but you didn't understand the speak to it. He said, but this time, he said, a little storm come. He said, and the showers got showery. He said, you could have speak to the showers, and the shower would have stopped showering. He said, you don't even realize. He said, I'll give you bits and pieces of it. Lived it. He said, but if you don't know how to talk to the drip drop and you don't know how to talk to the showers, I'm going to say you're going to talk to the storm. This is the hour that God said the storm is raging. He said, this is the hour they won't be able to prepare for what's coming. He said, this is the hour that tornadoes going to catch them by surprise. This is the hour hurricanes ain't going to be able to be mandated. He said, they're going to come one way and they're going to turn another. He said, I'm trying to prove to them that the Father is the Father. I don't care what kind of machines they're making for storms. He said, I'm the one that covers all. He said, I'll shut down every storm they're trying to produce, and I'll produce a bigger storm. One thing they got to know, they'll never outdo God. So make the machines if you want, cover the clouds if you want. He He said, you don't see what I happened to Dubai? They tried to make rain clouds. I caused them to be drawn out. He said, don't play with me. He said, if you're coming from me, come from me. He said, this is the stuff I'm about to approach. He said, every time that you think that you can do something in the Father, God is about to show you who he is. And I tell you, God is about to reverse everything they're trying to do. God said, I'm about to put it on their head. He said, but I just was testing the waters. I just wanted to see how far they was going to go. Did God ever see how far you going to go? It was something inside your spirit that was nipping at your spirit. They said, God, don't go. And you said, no, but I don't know, there's something inside me. It's telling me, don't go. But your friend called you. Baby, you're coming. You don't never go nowhere. And you say, but some keep telling me, baby, don't go. Isn't that something how God talks to you? But your friends talk louder than God. Your situation talk louder than God. Your boyfriend talk louder than God. Not your husband, but your boyfriend talk louder than God. Isn't that something how you talk louder than God? And God said, no voice supposed to be louder than mine. He said, if the sheep that know my voice and another you will not follow. You want to know why you're following a both boyfriend. You want to know why you're following a both bestie. He said, why you're following somebody that's not going nowhere not time soon. He said, this is the hour that God is calling for the rising. He said, the storm is coming. He said, see, you didn't know how to talk to the drip because the drip was dripping. See, you didn't know how to talk to the shower because the shower was showering. He said, now this is the time. I need you to talk to a hurricane. He said, there's one thing you got to know. He said, I walk on water in a hurricane. He said, that means that a hurricane don't stop me from coming. And a hurricane don't stop you from walking. He said, when Peter said, God bid me to walk on water, he didn't realize he started to walk on water in the middle of a hurricane. It's not one time that Jesus told the hurricane to cease while he was walking on the water. He told it to cease after he got back in the boat. But can I tell somebody, God said he won't cease your storm until you walk on the water. Can I tell somebody, God will not open the door until you stand by the door. God said this is the hour. I won't do it until you command me to do it. He said, open sesame. He said, I need you to open up your mouth. He said, then the door won't open. It's open by activation of your praise. If you're still sitting down on me, and I'm literally telling you to open up your mouth, God will open up to you. He said, you are some dumb dog. He said, you're not getting it. He said, you just was crying before you came to church, and you still ain't opened up your mouth. You still ain't gave me no praise. And I'm telling you to activate the spirit. He said, this is the hour. I'm telling you to open up your mouth and see if I won't open up the door. If I won't open up the door. He said, see if I won't open up the door. Then tell somebody, see, if he won't open up the door. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Sean, I need you to come stand on, wait, hold up, Leah. I need you to come stand to the top. Let me tell you something. God is doing something. I need you to stand to the top. All right, God is doing something. Okay, you stand to the top. Sean, I need you to come stand on this thing. I need you to show you something. He said, I need you to stand. He said, stand in the middle of it. He said, stand there. He said, no, stand up. He said, because you're being elevated. Yeah, stand there. He said, nah. He said, nah, Miss Trinae, come stand on the floor. He said, stand on the floor. He said, this is that. He said, I'm trying to show you something. He said, when I do stuff for a reason. He said, this is for a reason. Hey, I say when I created the behemoth, I created him at the beginning. He said he rank. So you got to realize some things in your life rank. Do you not know trouble rank? Do you not know misunderstanding rank? God said you got to know what rank you're on. You got to understand that Leah cannot compare herself to Shonda. Shonda can't compare herself to Trinae because they're on different ranks. You got to realize what's going to come for Shonda not going to come from Trinae long as Trinae don't try to be Shonda. You got to understand what come from Leah ain't going to come from Shonda long as Shonda not trying to be Leah. Why? Because they rank different. When Shonda open her mouth, I could do what Leah do. Oh, hold up. That means you put yourself on that rank. That means what's coming for Leah won't come for you. You got to realize what God was telling Job. Since you think you know it all, I want you to control your trouble. And this is the hour God wants you to know you can't control your trouble. He said, because I set it on the level that you own. He said, but what you don't realize, each struggle is a key. Every time you get over depression, that's a key. Every time you get over anger, that's a key. Every time you get over unforgiveness, that's a key. He said, oh, you're right, you get different keys. And one thing you got to know, hold up, wait a minute. I need you to push back because God said it just elevated. I need you to go up a little bit more, Shonda. I need you to go right there. Yeah, wait a minute. You see one thing about it. I didn't even have to tell Shanae to move. She knew how to move by her spirit because I just said they got promoted. So anytime you got promoted, you go up a little higher than you was before. You go a little deeper than you was before. That's why you understand. So much is given, much is required. You want to know why you're going through more hell than you ever been? Because you just went up another level. You got to realize every time trouble comes, you must say it's elevation time. You got to realize when all hell breaks loose is elevation time. You got to realize when the storm comes, that means you have reached the level. You have reached your destination. Hold up, wait a minute. God said the storm come only when you reach your destination. What you mean? He said because the storm got to clear the path for where you going. You got to realize, do you not know the storm will clear the path where you going? One thing about a storm is going to blow in something out of others, but it's going to clear the path where you going. So every time all hell breaks loose, that's what God is putting you down the fire path. You got to realize, God said elevation coming. Hold up, wait a minute. Come in, Miss Tona. You got to realize the reason why, oh, Lord have mercy. God give me this revelation. I need you to get in the line. I need you to stand where Trinae once was standing. This is the hour for elevation. Let me tell you how we mess up. Because when it's time for elevation, nobody want to elevate. But God said you can't stand in that place longer because somebody else coming and occupy. Can I help somebody? So anytime that you decide that you don't want to do what God said do, that means somebody was supposed to come occupy where you once was. Do you not know you in trouble? Because you decided you didn't want to get it together on that level. You decided you didn't want to listen to God. You decided that you didn't want to shut your mouth. And so, hold on, wait a minute, this would happen. And so now, if I say elevation time again, what you do? You don't stand in the same place. Do you not hear? Do you not know that you speak by the Spirit? What's understood don't need to be explained. You got to realize when God calls for elevation, He calls it when you're not paying attention. When God calls for elevation, He calls it in your season of turmoil. When God calls for elevation, He want to see your response. Come here, Janae. Come stand up. Let me tell you something. What God is saying, God is doing. Come here. Wait a minute. Come here, Myra. Come here. Because God has changed something. And so now you got to remember that guess what? Now both of them standing for the same position. But which one gonna get it? Which one will be in the next category to go up? Which one? Because one thing about a draft, you got to understand all of us was drafted. If you know the new thing that's coming out, they're trying to make a law. Every male that's 18 to 21 gonna be drafted, whether you go to the military or not. So that's let me know, even though you don't go to basic training, if you consider to be drafted, you don't still go to war. Can I tell somebody whether you want to receive gold or not? When it's time for judgment day, you won't still be judged accordingly to what you didn't want to do and according to what you did. So now this is the hour. Now they both have it. Because you got to understand when the draft is drafting. The draft is drafting, but that's not sure you're going to be picked. Isn't that something they put we wait for God to do something. And we ain't seen God moving. God just wanted Job to know, can you trust me when you can't trace me? Even though you didn't see me. Even though all hell was wrecking loose. Did you still trust me? That's what God want to know. So now both of them. Now notice I told both of them to come. But I didn't tell them what to say. So I'm going to ask Myra a question. Why is you standing in front of Janae? Because why? Because you felt like I called you last. But you got to realize I called you at the same time. But this is the hour. hour you're going to get your position by your obedience. God said this is the hour your position come by your obedience. This is the hour God don't have time to keep saying you. God don't have time. I need you to fall down, Mara. I need you to fall down. Now it's time for you to get back up. But Mara decide. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's why it's so hard for her. Look how she pausing. Now you heard what the command said. Did you not hear I told her? It's time for her to get back up. But yet she stayed down. When God calling you to get back up, you better get up and don't stay down. If God say get up and dust yourself off, get up and dust yourself off and keep moving. I don't have time to say I need you to walk front in front of the other. I need you to put the other foot back, other foot front. I need you to do your hips and I need you to go side by side. God said you should not walk when we always directing you. He said because I say the righteous foot of a man is already all day by me. And me, my foot should go only where God tell me to go. If God tell me don't go there, I shouldn't be going there. God say ranking is in the building. Now I need you to know about rank. Notice how they rank. As they go up, they go deep. Lord have mercy. Did not God say go into the depths of me? He said go into the depths of me. He said every time you rank, you go deeper. Notice how far you came from where you was. I need somebody to look at yourself and say I came further than what I was. I didn't even think I was going to do something. But I didn't realize every time the storm came, it pushed me into the deep. You don't realize how I was. Every time the storm came, it gave me another revelation. What you didn't realize, you was collecting keys and you was moving up and didn't know it. And that's why it's awakening time. He said, every time you go up another level, it's a new level. He said, so don't be calling nobody else name and saying you can do what somebody else doing, because you don't never know what level they are. It look easy, but they don't know what level you are. Look how deep that girl got from where she was last week. You got to understand. Each day you're supposed to be getting deeper in God. Each second sounds that time. No, I want to be better every second than I was every minute. God say every time you move, every time you open up your mouth. Hold on, wait a minute. So by elevate. Hold on, wait a minute. So now a test come. When the test comes, you start talking. God, well, I don't know. Can I tell you, come down a little bit more, Miss Tony? You see, your words are elevate you, and your words demote you. So now, every time you go against what God said, God said, leave that Negro alone, but I love him. Go up a little bit more. No, you stay where you at. Trinae, you go up a little bit more. You walk closer to, yeah. Nobody move until I tell them to move, because once I elevate you, nobody could de-elevate you until I do it. Okay? I told you to move, to be elevated. But you have to wait till I de-elevate you. And I can't, your words can't. So now, every time you're going against what God say do, you're pushing back from what you can. That's why God say, is the better of a mind of a man is worse when you go back to where I delivered you from. That's what he said, right? He said, that's why you can't get it together, because you keep going back. You keep going in cycle. He says elevation. Notice, Lord have mercy, thank you, Jesus. Elevation is elevation. You see what Miss Tone at? She in the elevate mode. They're in the elevate mode. But they in the ram. I need y'all to see that. From Miss Trinae, Shonda, and they're in the ram. You see, in rams, you in a place, you're in a whole nother place. There's no coming down because you're in the ram. Now, if you're going to stay there, that's on you. But each ram have elevation. Miss Tona trying to get in the ram, but she's still in elevation. Her words can either get in the ram or her words could cause her to stay where she at. Lord have mercy. I need y'all to see this. Because every time you speak, gonna determine, are you ready for elevation? Are you ready for a ram? God, I'm tired. Oh, okay. Well, that means you push down a little lower. Because every time you say something, Lord have mercy. Did it not say our words shorten the days of our life? So every time we say something, it pushes us further away from destiny. So where Miss Tona at, where Mara at, where Janelle at, they got to watch what they say. Because they be on levels longer than they supposed to. Lord have mercy. Only because they didn't elevate. But if they understand what's on this ram, sleep is on this ram, overflow is on this ram, tools is on this ram. God let you know what's on the ram. But he don't show you what's on the ram. Because you'll be trying to get to the ram just to get peace, just to get the overflow, just to know how to fight. God said, no, I'll never show you what's on the ram. Lord have mercy. Y'all better catch this because it's nuggets. God said, now, when you're in the middle of elevation, you got to be more careful what you're saying than what Leah is. Lord have mercy. Why? Because Leah's on the ram. Y'all still on the level. Mm-hmm. So that means you're not where Leah at. So if I rebuke you and I don't rebuke Leah, you can't tell me, well, you don't tell that to Leah because Leah's not on a level. She on a ramp. I hope y'all understanding this. I hope y'all understanding this. I hope y'all understanding this. Well, guess what, mother? After they go so deep inside the ram, then it's levels again. Lord have mercy. So now when you go so deep on this ram, that means when you conquer this ram, when you conquered anger, now it's time to go to the ram of humility. Lord have mercy. God giving that to me as I'm speaking. Then you start going up levels. Husband, one level. Because God trying to see if you really conquer this level. Because when you think you're so deep, God gonna see if you're ready. Children, job, friends, self. Self is the highest level of each realm. God giving it to me as I'm giving it to y'all. He says self is going to be the last test that you'll take because self is the finale of every level. You know, the alarm is sounding. It's sounding. 12 o'clock. God let you know at 12 o'clock on the 5th. Guess what? One stop, another one start. God said, get it. Because self is the finale of the next place where you're going. Because they're on the outer course. She is on the inner court. But they should be in the holies of holies. We understand? So self is the finale. Because if you can't get over yourself, you can't go to the next round. Oh, they hurt my feelings. Oh, Lord. Oh, they peed me off. Oh, Lord. Oh, I ain't doing nothing. Oh, Lord. You ain't going nowhere. No time soon. Because God said, try to show Job, you ain't delivered from self yet. He said, all this complaining, you even birthed the day that I created for you to be born in the earth realm. And you think you ready to talk to me? God say, how are you standing? Y'all tired standing up? Okay. I'm about to say it didn't matter. God say stand up. I just wanted to ask a question. God want to know, where are you when nobody looking? I just want y'all to see the picture. See the picture. See the picture. See the picture. Look how they turn from how they turn. Why do you think they turn that way? Because they're on a level to where they have to see God. And they're on a level where they only have to hear God. Lord have mercy. God, you got to show me you're here. And God said, why you just don't believe I'm here? When I'm on the level of maturity, I know God is here even if he sits silent. I know God here even if he decides that he want to leave the door shut a little while. But can you trust him even when you can't trace him? So we are in a generation, God, I got to believe it's you. You got to show me. And then if God don't show you, then you say it's not a God. God want to know, who do you think you are? God, God. Somebody help y'all good? Because God says elevation time. He said it's spiritual. He said, now where are you? And why are you still in the outer course when you're supposed to be in the inner course? And why are you in the inner course when you're supposed to be in the holies of holies? He said, how long do it take you to get into the holies of holies? He said, but you never mastered attitude yet. He said, you never mastered anger yet. You never mastered disappointment yet. You never mastered rejection yet. That's all on Rams. He said, the reason why you stay on Rams longer than you're supposed to, because truth of the matter is, you still a selfie person. Take selfies. Lord have mercy. You know when people say take a selfie? That means take a picture of self, because you're all about self. Lord have mercy. Did not God just say what he was going to do to the proud? He said he was going to destroy them and put their face in the dust. Okay. Okay, keep walking. Okay, just check this elevation time. God said, now what elevation you on? And why you holding up somebody else's space? Because you decide that you ain't ready yet. So you know what that means? It's time for a storm. Y'all can go sit down. Do we understand what God is saying and how he is saying? This is the hour. God is talking to Job. Job got to the place he said, Lord, let me shut up, because I see I got what I asked for. Lord have mercy. Be careful what you ask for, because when God give it to you, you might not want it. Okay, keep asking. Keep asking. Go ahead. Did not Job say, if somebody take God right out his hand, and that's going to be the time he's going to talk? Well, why when God came face to face with Job, Job didn't have nothing to say? He said, Lord, let me put, for Job not to say nothing, guess what he said? Let me put my hand over my mouth. He started to, when you come before God, your true reflection come forward. What Job said, I am unworthy. He said, how can I reply to you? I put my hand over my mouth. I spoke once, but I have no answer. Well, you had so much to say all before. Now you don't got nothing to say to when you put your hand over your mouth. Be careful what you ask for. Because when God give it to you, it might not be the way that you want him to give it to you. And then this is the second time God told Job, you're going to stand up there like a man and you're going to answer me. So how can he not talk when God telling him you're going to answer me? Be careful. God is coming. And he's coming. And you're going to have to answer. Lord have mercy. Tell somebody, I'm going to have to answer this real. Okay. God just wants you to know. You're going to have to answer this. And then he said, would you condemn me to justify yourself? How many times you condemn God to justify yourself? Well, God know my heart. You know, every time we say, God already know. God ain't going to get this to me in this and that. Why are you condemning God to justify yourself? When you could do what God requires you to do. If God tell you to be quiet, why you always still got to still talk? Well, I'm just saying. What you just saying? That you're obedient? That God told you to keep your mouth closed and you won't keep your mouth closed? We got to be careful. Judgment is coming. Tell somebody judgment is coming. God is not playing. At this time, we prepare for offering. The Lord's Supper first. Then we're going to do our tithes. This is the hour that God is bringing us to a whole